Tonight, you're going to do something your ancestors did for hundreds of thousands of years. You'll find a small, dim space, surround yourself with soft light, and sit very still while a flickering glow holds your attention until you fall asleep. You'll call it watching TV. You won't realize you're still living in a cave. The cave never disappeared. It just changed shape. For most of human history, the cave wasn't a metaphor. It was survival. A tight, enclosed space with one entrance, where a small group could see danger coming before danger saw them. Open ground was where predators won. Caves were where humans won. The parts of your brain that learned to crave that kind of space are still running today, just pointed at different objects. Think about what you actually do when you want to feel safe. You don't go stand in an open field. You go to a small room. You close the door. You dim the lights. You pull a blanket close, even when you're not cold. Children build pillow forts, tiny enclosed spaces with low ceilings and narrow openings, and feel calmer inside them than anywhere else in the house. Adults do the same thing. They just call it a cozy reading nook or a parked car with the windows up. You're not imagining comfort. You're recreating shelter. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner spent years studying the Jew/Hoansi people of the Kalahari, one of the last populations with a living memory of fire-centered communal life. In a 2014 study, she recorded what people actually talked about around the fire at night, compared to daytime. Daytime conversation was practical. Complaints, logistics, who owed what to whom. Nighttime, around the flames, conversation shifted almost entirely to storytelling, myths, distant relatives, tales about other lives. The fire wasn't just light. It was a switch. It turned practical, task-focused people into an audience. You already know this switch. You feel it the moment the sun goes down and a screen lights up your face in a dark room. You don't watch television in broad daylight the same way you watch it at night. Something in you waits for the dark to lean in and listen to a story. The campfire just has a different shape now. It's rectangular, it's in your pocket, but the part of your brain answering it has barely changed at all. Here's where it gets stranger. It's not only the fire that survived, it's the group around it. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at the University of Oxford spent decades studying social group size across primates and humans. He found a consistent number, now called Dunbar's number, suggesting humans can comfortably maintain meaningful relationships with roughly 150 people. Past that, the brain can't track who matters, who's trustworthy. For nearly all of human history, that number described your entire world. Now scroll through your phone. You might have thousands of followers, an entire feed of strangers you call friends. But notice who you actually message back. It's a small group hiding inside a much larger, louder crowd. The cave only ever held so many people. Apparently, so does your mind. There's a third piece of this puzzle. It explains why you cook food at all. Primatologist Richard Wrangham at Harvard argued that the control of fire and the cooking it allowed wasn't just a convenience, it was the event that made the human brain possible. Cooked food is dramatically easier to digest than raw food, meaning more usable energy for less effort. That extra energy is what allowed brains to grow larger, generation after generation, fueling language, tool use, and culture. In other words, the fire didn't just keep you warm, it built the mind reading this sentence right now. So when you heat something on a stove tonight, you're performing the exact act that turned a clever ape into a human capable of telling itself stories about its own past. None of this stayed behind in some distant world. It just got new packaging. Your living room is the cave mouth, angled so you can see the door. Your phone is the fire, glowing after dark, demanding a story. Your closest contacts are the tribe, capped at a number your brain settled on long before anyone invented a phone to count it on. You walk through a world built of glass, concrete, and Wi-Fi, and somehow still end every day exactly the way your ancestors did. Small space, flickering light, a tight circle of people who matter, a story to fall asleep to. You never left the cave, you just learned how to decorate it. And tonight, when you dim the lights and let a glowing screen tell you a story until your eyes finally close, you won't be doing something modern at all. You'll be doing the oldest thing a human has ever done.